Hello, everybody. Welcome to podcast number 6 of KVIN's updates. I'm Martin Everly, and I'm joined today by my colleague,
Mark Owen. Issue 6, that's amazing, isn't it?
It really is. And what we're just repeating to everybody, what you're going to tell them about is what was in our very first issue 1. And I'll pass it over to you, Mark.
Thanking you. So, in issue 1, one of the things that we talked about was some of the work that some of the software companies are doing by way of free trials and free offers, that sort of thing, because we like things that are free because we're from Yorkshire. And you might recall that we talked about Sight and Sound Technology, who were doing free JAWS, Zoom Text or Fusion being both of them put together. And that was going to be for a 3-month period. Now, the great news is for anyone who took advantage of that offer to give themselves that free assistive technology, it's been extended until the 31st of August. So if you've got one of those free downloads of JAWS, Zoom Text or Fusion and using it and you're thinking, oh, it's about to expire and run out, great news is, no, it's not. It's going to be working until the 31st of August. One thing that we do want to point out, though, if anyone is looking at purchasing it at the discounted prices that are being promoted at the moment, then get your skates on, because as far as we know, that's going to end at the end of June. We haven't heard whether that bit is going to be extended yet. So if you are thinking of buying it at these discounted prices, do please take advantage of that. So that's it on an update on one of the original topics. And something that Martin went to last week was a podcast on entertainment. So Martin, entertain us.
Thanks, Mark. It was on a web-in-hour, like a seminar. And it was held by Sight and Sound. And it was all about entertainment and reading, because the RNIB has just ended their overdrive reading system and have gone on to a new one, which is run via Dolphin Easy Reader, it's from what we've heard, it's a lot better and a lot more stable than the old overdrive. So there was some good information there about that, and I have got the information, and you can even look at our previous podcasts with Dan, who takes you through how to set up RNIB reading. So that's the first thing what they were talking about. And the next thing was the audio describe programs. At the moment, there's approximately up to 20% of programs are audio described. It's a fantastic feature for people who's got very limited sight. It gives you the voice in the background, what tells you what's happening, how old the characters are, and general background. In fact, actually, my son, who is completely sighted, loves it. He says it tells you much more about the programs and what's going on than what you can actually see and pick up.
It's one of those things where I can't imagine now watching TV without it, because there's so many of these little subtleties and nuances that happen between the characters that you would miss out on if you didn't have that audio description.
We've got so many programs and box sets and films now what you can watch, and Netflix apparently is brilliant for audio described programs, box sets, etc. A lot of their programs do have audio description. It does get a bit disappointing when you look on BBC iPlayer, you go into the audio described section, look at your favourite series and think, oh, that's brilliant, and then you start to watch episode 1 and it doesn't have it. And that's happened to me on numerous occasions, and hopefully the BBC is going to, it only will do the current series, it won't do the previous series. So if something's on TV now and you're doing catch up on it, it's there as the audio description, but it's not always there on the previous year series. So it is something to be aware of. But audio descriptions on films or anything, I absolutely love it and recommend it. And the big thing is now I've got to the stage with my eyesight where if it hadn't got audio description, I don't do it. I don't bother. But that's my personal opinion on it.
Yeah. And I think with audio description as well, it's one of those things, as we said on many occasions, that people have it, but they don't necessarily realize that they've got it, because a number of, not all, but certainly most modern TVs within the last sort of 3 or 4 years will have AD built in, and it's something that would need to be switched on. Sometimes remote controls just even have a simple AD button to switch it on and off. So it's one of those things that people may have, but they might not know they have. So we can always talk about it. And then one of the things that we will do is we run our Zoom chats over the coming weeks. We'll have some breakout rooms where we'll talk about AD. We'll talk about some of the different apps such as the iPlayer, such as Netflix that Martin has mentioned there, and we'll give you some instructions on how to use all of those. So we're thinking as well about updates, because we're always thinking about things that are new. And for those of us that are using the computers, something that's just on the horizon, one or two of us may already have it, is the update to Windows 10. Now, it's rolling out bit by bit, so some people have got it, others haven't, but that's going to feature quite a bit by way of accessibility improvements. One of the big things that we understand is that the Windows magnifier is also going to incorporate an element of speech output. So as you magnify around the screen and hover your mouse pointer over a different area, it's also going to speak out what that area is. So it sounds like there's going to be a lot more happening by way of accessibility with the Windows 10 update that's rolling out now, and we'll keep you in touch with that as it progresses. Okay, so that's one way in which we'll support you. But Martin, you're going to talk about some other things that we're looking at.
Yeah, because we've all been in our lockdown situation, I think a lot of people are doing new things, and we're doing the Zoom meetings now at KVIN for our support groups. But there's also another great app, and that's WhatsApp. WhatsApp is absolutely brilliant for sharing information. It's free, of course, we like free. You can send up to 100 out to 100 people in one text message. It goes out instantly, and it'll go out anywhere across the world. So you can have, if you want assistance with setting up a WhatsApp group, you might be part of WhatsApp groups, but if you want to, we can show you how to set up your own groups. It's fairly straightforward, but if you don't know about it, we can show you. The same goes for the Zoom meetings as well, because you can download that app as well, and that gives you free for 40 minutes. So you can do a conference call with the one-to-one for 40 minutes for free, which you can't beat free in Yorkshire, can you, Mark?
Certainly not. And I'll say, I think that's really important, that what we are wanting to do is, you show you lots of other ways that you can help keep in touch with family and friends, and let's do that. Let's create our own WhatsApp groups as well as being part of the KVIN groups. So that's bringing us to the end of issue number 6. If you do want to get in touch with us, you've got the email, which is info@kvin.org.uk. There's the WhatsApp groups, there's a Facebook, and if you've picked this podcast up via any of the podcast players, don't forget to subscribe to us. We're available on the YouTube, we're available on the TuneIn Radio, we're available on Spotify and Google Podcasts, so there's never been easier to hear from KVIN. So from Martin and myself, that's goodbye for now.
See you later.
Bye.